Ladies and gentlemen, William Samoei Arap Ruto, who is the President of the Republic of Kenya, is likely to appoint members of his cabinet by the end of next week. But William Ruto is facing serious dilemma in making those appointments. According to the Kenyan Constitution, the cabinet consists of the president, which is already sorted, the deputy president, which is already sorted, the attorney general, and I can bet he's likely to appoint Professor Kithure Kindiki instead of Kihara Kariuki, who you saw the other day was humiliated. And then he's supposed to also appoint cabinet secretaries, minimum number 14 and maximum number 22. And that's where the dilemma begins. In this country, we have 42 tribes. So William Ruto will have to balance. So in this video, I want us to look at the dilemma William Ruto is finding himself in. Before we do that, in case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or to click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thanking you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us begin this video. And I want to begin it by asking you guys, who would you want to see in William Ruto's cabinet? Who do you want to see in that cabinet? Now, the first challenge which William Ruto is facing is loyalty. Loyalty is normally the number one consideration for politicians. And William Ruto is known to reward loyalty. And is also known to keep his words. Unlike Raila Odinga. You see, one of the issues most people have with Raila Odinga is lack of reward for loyalists. Like even if you look at the people who are nominated in the county assemblies in parliament on ODM ticket, some of those people are not even loyal and they'll end up missing him. For Ruto, he prefers rewarding loyalty. And so far, what I can tell you is that Ruto is already rewarding his loyalist. Sholei Gladys boss is already the deputy speaker. Aaron Cheriot is already the majority leader at the Senate. Kimani Ichung'wah is the majority leader of the National Assembly. Silvanus Osoro is the minority leader, a close ally and a loyalist of the DP in the National Assembly. Boni Aluale has been nominated to serve at the Senate. So which means William Ruto's cabinet is likely to be full of loyalists. And I can name for you a few guys who are likely to be there. Eden Duale is going to be in the cabinet. Why do I believe so? If Eden Duale was not going to be in cabinet, I'm sure William Ruto would have made him the majority leader. Or minority, whichever. Kipchumba Murkomen is going to join the cabinet. That one I cannot tell you for sure. If he's not going to be join cabinet, he's likely to be attorney general in case Kithure Kindiki will not. Then you look at who else is likely to Ndindi Nyoro is likely to join cabinet. Why? Because it's not featuring anywhere in parliamentary leadership. So which means they're being left out deliberately. Alice Wahome is not featuring anywhere. But how many loyal people are in Kenya Kwanza? So many. And the fact is, sometimes you don't have to reward all loyalists. Sometimes you have to mix it with the technocrats. If you look at the technical team which was helping William Ruto, it's also a pool of people. The likes of David Nding, there was Nanok, there are several of them. So some of those technocrats might not be that loyal. So William Ruto, of course, will definitely go for loyalty. But loyalty sometimes might not be the best in terms of appointment. So that's number one. Number two, and this is the biggest challenge for the DP, is gender, the women. William Ruto made a promise that he was going to form a cabinet, and 50% of those were going to be from women. Let us look at the women or the men available, because we are talking of maximum of 22 slots. Apart from 22 slots, we are talking of 42 regions, 42 tribes. Now, assuming David Ndii is going to be, assuming David Ndii is going to be appointed to the cabinet, assuming Kipchumba Murkomen, assuming Ndindi Nyoro, Eden Duale, those are 4 already. Then you have several others. So it means the men, the men will not be more than, in my view, 11. How many people invested in this campaign? And how will the people who will not be beneficiary, especially the men, react? I normally give people the example of Kilifi or Coast in general. In Coast, William Ruto has Salim Vuria. And I strongly believe that if he had the opportunity, he would appoint Salim Vuria as a cabinet secretary. Then in Coast also, there is Aisha Jumwa, who is loyal and was one of the few people who stood with the DP from the onset. Then there's Hassan Omar in Mombasa. Then you go to Kilifi again, already the Speaker of the Senate is Amason Kingi. So how will William Ruto balance the issue of the women? Because appointing Mvuria and having Kingi as a speaker and having Aisha Jomo as a cabinet secretary and Hassan Omar, it's going to be complex. So which means generally, and because our politics in this country is normally male dominated, how will William Ruto appoint half of his cabinet from women? At the end of the day, so many people will feel that they've been betrayed. So that's another challenge he's going to deal with. The third challenge is the Kenya Kwanza interest. You know, William Ruto entered into coalition with Mudavadi, Weta, Alfred Mutua, David Ochieng. For David Ochieng, I'm told he want to get the cabinet, any cabinet, but is likely to appoint, to choose or to recommend a permanent secretary. Now, if you look at the Kenya Kwanza interest, how many of these people are going to come from ANC party? The Luhya Nation, they were promised 30%. What about the Kikuyu Nation? They voted for Ruto to the last man. Are they going to get less than 30%? What about the UDA, the original UDA, as a political party? And what about the Kalenjin Nation? So the Kenya Kwanza interest, because someone like Alfred Mutua has already secured for himself a cabinet position. So how will those interests be married so that William Ruto will be able to get loyalty, he will be able to get the women factor, and all those other things? How? It's going to be very interesting how William Ruto is going to maneuver all this. The fourth thing is the national face. You see, as much as Ruto was voted for predominantly in 2 regions, his cabinet must represent the face of Kenya. And if you look at 2013, when Jubilee government got into office, they appointed Omamo Rachel to represent the face of Luos in court, so that you could not say that Omamo was not a Luo, despite the fact that she hardly was associated, having been one of the people who schooled with Uhuru Kenyatta. So probably she was rewarded because of that childhood friendship, but she represented the face of the Luos. William Ruto will have to consider face of Kenya. For example, assuming he will go for Raila Odinga or Obado, that would be a Luo. In his cabinet, the Luhya Nation will have to feature. And remember, the Luhya Nation, they also have their internal politics. Of course, by appointing Mudavadi, places like Kakamega and Vihiga maybe are sorted. Already Wetangula is sorted the other side. But in cabinet, they will also need their own people. You go to coastal region, they need Mount Kenya, they will expect not less than 5 or 3. You go to Rift Valley. Rift Valley is now we have the subtribe. There's the Masais, there is the those several subtribes. So generally, William Ruto will work so hard to ensure that his cabinet will form part or face of Kenya. Number 5 is the integrity questions. You know, William Ruto got into this election as one of the most corrupt individual in the country when he started his campaigns. William Ruto, anytime you went to Twitter and to Google and search the word, who is the most corrupt person in Kenya, the name William Ruto was coming at number 1. So William Ruto would want a situation where he's going to change that, so that the face of his cabinet can inspire confidence. Remember, we are going to have investors' confidence, the international community, so they will want to see a team which will inspire confidence. Like if you were to appoint Indeed, people would say, okay, that's a serious guy. But if he were to appoint, for example, someone like Hassan Omar, you'd say, okay, that's a serious guy. But assuming William Ruto would go for Aisha Jumwa, a person who has a case already, murder case in court, then people will question so many things in terms of the integrity of his government. And lastly, the last dilemma is the 2022 equation. Now, I can easily conclude that in this country, once you are elected a president, you cannot be removed until you complete your term. And for me, I can easily tell you that William Ruto is going to rule for 10 years. Otherwise, he will be the first person to lose re-election. Kibaki swore himself at night. Uhuru, I doubt Ruto will be able to lose the seat. But as much as he will not be able to lose it easily, the fact of the matter is that 2027 equation is also going to determine the kind of people he's going to place in certain positions. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. In case you're watching the channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. Bye-bye.